What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Sunday Drive. Today we are in an E36, not M3, 328i. Andrew, the owner, was nice enough to lend us this car for video to do a comparison. We're going to answer the question, is an E36 M3 worth the money, or should you settle for a similar, less expensive 328i? This car is not stock. Andrew, you want to tell us some of the mods?
Yeah, so basically I autocross and track this car. It's got all the chassis reinforcements, front subframe, rear trailing arm bracket, rear subframe, JRZ RS Pro coilovers, custom exhaust, limited slip diff, and your basic track day mods.
So this car is pretty well done for the track. Andrew has a channel called Mini Z Guy. I'll link it in the description down below so you can go check it out. But I think we should go hop on the road and see how it drives. All right, here we go. E36 328i. And that exhaust is loud. So I guess one of the main differences that I see people talking about with these cars is the transmissions are the same. The ZF5 speed. Other similarities include the motor. They're both, I mean, S52, M52, they're very similar engines. The differences is in the camshafts and the bore, 3.2 versus 2.8. So there's that little bit of difference. And then like very suspension parts like the R-tabs, or rear trailing arms, rear subframe, and are the front subframes any different?
No, they're the same. Different part numbers, but they should be the same.
Okay, so they're, different brakes, but honestly, I think if we're gonna build one of these, and you can probably test this, a lot of those things you're gonna change out anyway, right? Like, are the sway bars stock?
It's got a Hotchkiss up front and then a stock 15 mil in the back.
Is that still mounted to the strut?
No, on the front, no.
And the control arm I meant.
No.
So it is mounted to the strut.
It's mounted to the control arm, not to the strut.
Oh, okay. So that is
between
stock non-M. Yeah. Oh, gotta use that clutch. This is a Grip Force Stage 2.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Yeah. Which feels very responsive. Oh yeah, that exhaust does get a little bit loud. Wow. Whoa. That thing hugs the corners. Holy smokes. Mine does not grip that well.
Okay, yeah. And these are just on all seasons right now, so.
Yeah, I'm sure at the track this thing's great.
Yeah.
Other mods include the differential, right?
Yep.
It was a 293, but you said...
Yep. Stock ratio.
It is a built LSD, right?
Yeah. Built in the way that it's got a 3-clutch system in there, but the ramps and everything are the stock.
You got all the track stuff, and then the coilovers. Tell me about the coilovers a little bit.
They're the JRZ RS Pro, so double adjustable remote reservoirs, 550-pound front springs, 1,000-pound rear springs.
I guess so is that like a track spring rate?
Most people don't stagger it as much as I do.
Yeah.
So ideally, most people say that you just need a 200-pound stagger front rear. But when you do the math behind everything, when you deal with motion ratios and wheel rates, it makes a lot more sense to actually have the bigger stagger because that's what's more accurate
right.
in terms of getting the ride frequencies correct.
Yeah, that makes sense. What pads are on these, or brakes?
So you're actually not on anything special. These are just like parts store pads that I've had forever, just because I was driving it around campus for a while.
Yeah.
So they're just whatever I can get in the front. The rears are power stop track day specs, and I only recommend the track day spec ones because they're the only ones that can handle heat for a track car. And then the front, now I run PFC 12s, but there's a reason why I'm not running PFC 12s on the street because they're loud and they actually don't work when they're cold.
Like they just don't brake well at all.
Yeah, no, like you'll put your foot on the brake and you'll be like, wow, this car is not stopping until they actually heat up.
Wow.
So like these whatever parts store pads are way more safe on the street than what my PFCs would be. When you drive an E36, you'll find really quickly that the brake pedal feel kind of sucks no matter what you do.
Mine is kind of soft, and then once you get into it, then it grabs.
Yeah.
Is that like how it was prior to?
I mean, that's how I feel like mine is compared to something like an E46. Because I live in so my buddy has an E46 that he's building towards spec E46.
Right.
He's running PFC 08s on it, and the first time I got on that brake, it felt amazing, and that was an 08 versus my PFC 12s, which should have better bite.
Right.
Initially. But yeah, so like brake pedal feel on this car isn't that great, and I don't think on any E36 it'll be that great.
Interesting. mean, stock, it's got good pickup power. That's not necessarily fast, but I wouldn't call it slow. I don't know, what if you made it the power? You used to put down some pretty good track times, even with this power number.
Yeah, I mean, it weighs about 3,000 pounds without me in it, so about 3,150 with me in it. And
Yeah.
I've never dynoed it, but it's only got an exhaust and a tune, so I assume it makes about 190 horsepower.
Right. That clutch is something to get used to. So is the exhaust. I don't know if right around like 4,000, like 3,500, 4,000, it's got a little bit of a weird resonance.
Yeah, I've noticed that it drones at like 2,500.
Yeah.
And then 3,500 is when Vanos starts to kick in, so you kind of hear a change in exhaust tone.
Is that when Vanos kicks in? I didn't know that.
On this tune it is, yes.
Oh, okay, so you changed that. Because mine is like a hard Vanos kick over at like around 5-ish thousand, a little past that.
No, mine's, yeah. I've noticed, like, basically, pre-tune
Right
and
there.
post-tune, I noticed that there is, right, if I, like, depending how fast I drive on the highway, I can hear it always kick in. And then if it sits at around 3.5, I've noticed the MPG should drop compared to when I had it untuned. So
Right.
that's when I know the Vanos kicks in right there.
It's funny having the 293 diff because you feel that the gears are much longer.
Yeah.
And the M3, when you go for like a 3-4, the 3 to 4, it's like go, go, go. Like it's just more torque, more torque. And this, you go on the fourth, and then you're just kind of hanging out there for a while.
Yeah.
I imagine it would still probably pick up pretty well once you like kind of if you stayed in it, but
Yeah, but it also doesn't have as much power as the M3.
right, yeah, of course.
The one thing, if I were to continue like modding this thing and like making it more of a track car,
Yeah.
I would put a 346 rear end in
Oh, that was bad. Is 346 a lot better for the track?
it. Yeah, well, that's also what the Spec E46 guys run, so it'd like feel like similar thrust. Like it'd probably be down 20 horsepower at all times, but the thrust would be pretty similar.
Right. Man, I will tell you, this thing is planted. These coilovers are doing work.
Mm-hmm.
And the shifter, is this short, right?
It's got a short shifter, but it's all like eBay parts,
Okay.
so it's nothing special.
Yeah, it's good. It's direct, notchy. I like the short throw.
Yeah. It was refreshed about 40,000 miles ago.
Yeah.
And since I don't drive it that often, I guess it's just been in good shape.
If you find it good, or if you find the link for it again, I'll throw it in the description down below. E36 owners, take note. This is an eBay shifter I'd recommend.
Yeah.
This one actually feels good. Oh, that's fun. Has a little bit of rev hang. Is that part of the tune?
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably. But it also might have like a vacuum leak of some sort, so who knows?
Right. Interesting. Do you know what weight this flywheel is?
Nope, no idea.
It feels a bit lighter than mine, actually. Mine is a little less touchy. Well, maybe my gas pedal just feels heavier. I don't know. The clutch feels a little different, but it honestly could just be the different in the master cylinders. That's another difference between the M3 and the 328, is the master cylinders are different. The M3 one is a little beefier, so it makes your clutch lighter. So if you're going to a heavier clutch, usually sometimes people will swap in the M3 master cylinders, but I don't really think it makes or breaks anything. I think it's more of just a preference of whether you'd rather have a heavier clutch or a lighter clutch pedal.
Yeah, from the feel of it, I just think that the clutch and the pressure plate is way too much for the power level. But back when I put a clutch in, I just didn't know the difference, so I just bought whatever was affordable and had good reviews, and that's how I landed on this.
Oh yeah, the Grip Force ones are good quality.
Yeah.
They're just, yeah, definitely the Kevlar one. This is the lightest. If it's the same kit, which probably is, I would say it's the lightest I would go on a street car, personally.
Yeah.
It's a good amount of light, but it's not like your JV Racing 10-pound aluminum flywheel. Those are crazy. Even on a race car, they sound like marbles in your gearbox when you're idling.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, this used
nuts.
to have that marbles in the gearbox sound until I got the tune, because then the idle speed.
Oh, what idle you
actually
running?
got raised, I don't know, maybe like 100 RPM, and that's why you don't hear it as much at idle anymore.
So does it sit around like 700 idle? Because I think stock's like 600 when it's warm.
I don't know. I've never really paid attention, probably, because all I know is it used to sound like it, and then it no longer does.
Huh. Let me stop, we'll check. It's got good torque up there, about 4,000. Let's see what we got. But that exhaust, so this is...
It's fully custom, to be honest.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
got a Bimmer World Y pipe.
Okay.
And then I had a shop in St. Louis when I was in college build the rest. And it's supposed to mimic the Bimmer World race exhaust, but it has a cat in it.
Okay. Yeah, it's got... It's funny. Initially, it's got like that kind of rasp that you get out of the Bimmer World Y pipe. Right? That's what it is, right? The Y pipe.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get up there, it almost has like a more Euro sound, like that high-pitched... I don't know how to say it. Super Sprint does it really well. I wonder if it's a difference between the non-M headers.
No, they're the same.
They're the same.
Yeah. And the M52 headers versus the S52 headers on an E36 are the exact same thing.
Huh.
Because, like, I know for a fact, because I bought a set of S52 headers for my E46.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be the exact same as this. Maybe a different part number, but again, same thing.
Yeah. It's funny how BMW does that sometimes. They just kind of assign a part number like, it's different. Maybe it's like the casting of the metal or something, but like overall the part's similar.
Yeah.
I think what you have here is good.
Yeah, it's fun. I built it for a class at one point, and then once this car stopped being competitive, I just started taking it to the track. But I'm happy with the way it's built.
Yeah, it certainly is built well. It does make a nice resonance up there.
Yeah.
Is a 328i a better buy than an M3? Honestly, after driving this car, I would say yes. The thing is, the M3s, when they were closer in price, I probably would have said no, because the M3s used to be, for another couple grand, you could have stepped up to an M3 and had a much better car, something more special, you know, right out of the box, it was faster. But now, with the way the market's gone, a good M3 is 15, 20 grand. You can still pick up a really nice 328 for like 5, 6. And I think if you're, especially, you're going to tear apart all the suspension anyway. You can buy all the M stuff. I think the amount of money you're going to spend, you can have a very similar 328 to an M3 for the same money as an M3. Well, significantly less, actually. Thank you, Andrew, for letting me take out your 328. It was good to experience one. I've never driven one of these before, so now I can say I have. I know what it's like. You said you don't really plan any power mods to it, just maintenance?
Yeah, no, this thing is going to be as is. It's going to be maintenance and keeping it good, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. It drives really solid as it is. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Yep.